Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to look at increasing the overdrive ratio for the Element Enduro RTR. Now out of the box, the Element Enduro comes with a 5.7% overdrive, and it also comes with extra parts to get you to 11.83%. And those parts that you need are in this bag right here with the longer battery tray. Alright, so these are the two parts that you'll need to move or to upgrade your overdrive from 5.7% to 11.83%. This gear here is a 26 tooth gear, and this one here is a 54 tooth. Out of the box, this gear is 27 tooth and this one is 53. So you're going from 2753 to 2654. The first thing you want to do is to remove the drive shafts from the transmission. The next thing you want to do is to remove the 4 screws from the bottom of the skid that hold the transmission onto the skid. Now before we continue, you'll have to pay attention that there are 2 different lengths of screws for the skid. Now the shorter screw is going to go into the holes that are closest to the chassis rail. The longer screw is going to be towards the middle of the skid. So just remember to use the correct screws in the correct positions when you put the transmission back onto the skid, or else these screws could kind of dig into the gears. So just to recap, longer screw towards the middle of the transmission, shorter screw towards the chassis rails. Once again, pay attention to the lengths of the screws and the correct holes that they go to in the skid. Alright, with the transmission removed from the truck, we're ready to crack it open. To open the transmission housing, you'll need to remove these 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how you crack open your transmission case. Alright. So you'll see here, this is the spur gear and it's got a cover on it. Now there's 2 sets, or yeah, 2 sets of gears. There's this set, 1, 2, 3 gears on this side. Then there's this side where it only has 2 gears. To do this overdrive upgrade, you're only going to want to change these 2 gears. So this gear here is going to replace this gear over here inside this case, and it's going to be underneath this gear. This gear here is going to be right there underneath this one. So remember, these option gears are supposed to go to the side next to the spur gear. So gear, smaller gear, and then the bigger gear. 26, 54. For smaller gear, you have the 11.83% overdrive gear on the left, which is the 26 tooth, and then you got on the right, you've got the 5.7% overdrive gear, which is the 27 tooth. Now I'm gonna finish taking out this other gear first. And you're gonna have to unscrew these 4 screws to remove this gear. Just like that, this 53 tooth gear is off. Alright, so here we've got the 5.7% overdrive 53 tooth gear and the 11.83% overdrive 54 tooth gear. Put that away and reattach this. Alright, we've got this gear screwed back on. Now it's time to grease it up. Here I'm going to be using Versachem brake caliper grease. It works pretty well for me. Alright, I'm going to put it back in with this bearing side down. Now you want to put this assembly back together. There's a little pin there. Grab the 26 tooth gear. Go ahead and grease that up as well. Alright, with this grease spread around the gear, it's time to put this assembly back in. So we're going to go ahead and put this back there. We're going to put this top half back. And I'm going to put this housing back on. Try to give it a few rotations to kind of get the gears all evenly greased. Alright, now we're ready to screw the housing back on. Alright, with the housing back on, once again, give it a little bit of motion to kind of spread the grease around. And you're ready to put this transmission back into the chassis. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is take your transmission. The stock way is to have the motor facing the front and line it up with the holes in the bottom of the skid. And you want to take the longer screws. Here's the longer one. And put them in the middle of the skid plate, because the shorter ones go next to the chassis rail. Now you don't want to fully tighten it yet. I'm going to loosely tighten or loosely screw in the transmission into the skid plate. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Alright. I'm leaving it loosely connected because we need to put the drive shaft back on. Now when you put the drive shafts back on, you want to make sure they're in phase. So basically what you want to do, you see this screw right here, you want to have the opposite end match. Right there. That's the big size hole. And so you want to just make sure that they're both facing the same direction. Screw hole here and the eventual screw hole over here. So that is what is called drive shaft in phase. Alright. See if I can get it on this way. If not, I'm gonna have to kind of I'll probably have to remove the transmission and try again. Alright, maybe it's easier if I do it this way first. Slide it down there. Right. So make sure they're in phase. Alright. So slide it in from underneath, it's a lot easier. And just turn this drive shaft or this output so I can get the correct angle. There you go. So you can see here, the screw holes are both facing the same direction. I don't know if you could see that. Try to give you a good look. Probably too hard to see. Okay. I'm not going to tighten it too tight yet because I have not fully tightened this transmission to the skid plate. Okay. Same thing this one. I'm going to make sure the drive shafts are in phase. See if you can see it from here. Screw hole facing up, screw facing up, good. Looks like I can't access it very well from here, so I will continue screwing this in first and try to connect that from the other side. So let's go ahead and fully, let's go ahead and fully mount the transmission to the skid plate. And remember, the shorter screws next to the frame rail. And the transmission is attached to the skid. Let's go ahead and flip this over. And make sure we fully attach the other side of this drive shaft. So let's just get this output hole lined up right there. And we'll go ahead and tighten it down. And you see there that the drive shaft is in phase. See, screw facing up, screw facing up. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the front is tightened down as well. Okay, now you want to connect your motor back up. Alright, so I've hooked the truck back up to the motor and connected to the battery, and let's just make sure everything's okay. Everything seems to be smooth. I don't know, you probably can't tell from here because I don't have anything stuck to it here. Let me get some painter's tape for you guys. And let's see if you guys can see the difference in overdrive. And you can see the front spins faster than the rear, showing that the overdrive is working. And that's pretty much it. That is how you install the option gears for the 11.83% overdrive on the Element Enduro. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.